Planting season is coming to a close, but the summer education season kicks off. Hello, folks. Welcome to This Week in Agribusiness. I'm Mike Pearson, behind the desk here on this Memorial Day weekend, but Max Armstrong is with us. In fact, he has a look at what's coming this summer from Farm Progress.
Well, Memorial Day weekend, Mike, is a good time, I think, to check in with an old friend of ours, Willie Vogt, for a couple of reasons. Willie, for one thing, we get to this point of the year every year, and we pretty much now, these days, have the planting of the crops underway. What have you been hearing from out of the countryside? We know there's been tremendous progress. The job is done for many. There will be that job of replant, though, for some, won't it?
Yeah, there will. And actually, I just came back from a very long drive out to the East Coast and up through Georgia and into Tennessee, and then also into Illinois, Southern Illinois, and into Missouri. And I saw a lot of soggy fields. I saw some areas where there will be some replant, but I also saw some beautiful seedling corn out of the ground, some very consistent fields, some soybeans in. The wheat in Kentucky looked really good. So I think there's some good news. And as usual, it's spring. We know that there's going to be bad news with it. We just lined it up. I'll tell you what, though, I'd really rather replant with that GPS planter than the old days trying to line those rows up. Just saying.
This year, one thing's going to be a little bit different. We'll quickly switch from planting season into what I call the learning season, because the Farm Future Summit, as we've been sharing with folks, is coming up in just a few days. You'll be there, no doubt.
Yes, I will be. As a matter of fact, I'll be up on stage a couple of times moderating some panels. I just found out one of the panels I'll be moderating will have a friend of yours and mine. Bill Northey will be joining me on a panel. We'll be talking about soil health and carbon and some of those issues, along with some other panel members. Someone from Land O'Lakes will be joining us too, but I was very excited to see Bill will be on the panel with me.
Having gone to this event so many times through the years, when you visit with growers after the fact, what's the number one thing they'll tell you that they came away with? The thing that really benefited them the most?
Well, I think information is a big deal, but to me, the interesting thing is the comment I get, I picked up something in this session that I'm going to use on my farm right away. Maybe it's an affirmation of an idea they've been thinking about and they just want to put it to work, whether it's enterprise accounting or rethinking how my management structure, that's come up. I think one of the things somebody told me one time is they figured out they really need to do standard operating procedure documents for their farm, and they had never thought about it the way we brought it up at the summit in one of the presentations. It's so nitty gritty into the way we run a farm business that this time you spend at the summit will pay for itself.
There is also that opportunity to exchange ideas with each other that you get at a meeting like this. And this is a perfect forum, it strikes me, Willie, because something will be heard from one of the expert speakers. And then in the hallway, you'll have a couple of growers standing together saying, well, I tried this, or I've thought about trying this. What's been your experience? You hear that kind of thing.
Exactly the same. And it's the beauty of a live event, and I'm excited about that. Obviously, we had one in 2020. It was one of the last live events I think anybody could attend. And we're excited to have one in 2021 in Iowa City. I think the interesting thing is that you meet somebody, maybe you've been to the summit before and there's somebody you've run into in a previous summit, or it's a whole new face you haven't met. And the other thing is when you're on site at the live event, you can kind of buttonhole one of the speakers and do a little one-on-one for your own farm because you're there. Now, we do have a virtual version of this event, and there will be some interaction on the platform we're using where people can exchange ideas, but frankly, nothing really beats being in the hallway.
Well, in summary, the Finance Boot Camp is first, and then the Farm Futures Business Summit follows the next 2 days, correct?
Right. And the first day of that boot camp, and when we say boot camp, that is a good, solid day of digging into financials, taxes, accrual accounting, what you should be doing with the way you deal with depreciation. How is the tax policy in the Biden administration potentially affecting your business? All of that's going to be covered in that first day. Then on day 2, we get into business management. We've got Dick Whitman there. He's a very in-depth speaker on the very topic of how to run your business. He's got a new publication out that will offer tools for farmers to do a better job in running their business. You've got Darren Fry from Water Street, who's been a longtime columnist in Farm Futures, will be there. I'm excited because we're going to have somebody up on stage you and I both know well. Greg Solier is going to be there. And frankly, this June report he's going to give us will be valuable to get us to harvest, I think.
The Finance Boot Camp is on the 15th of June, Farm Future Summit the 16th and 17th, Coralville, Iowa. We'll see you there, Willie.
I will be there.
Willie Vogt, And I understand, Mike, also that there is a discount. If you down there, a promo code MAX, you get a 20% discount, doggone it. Hey, who said you can't get a benefit by watching Max?
All right, well, thanks, Max and Willie. Folks, check that out, farmfuturesummit.com to get registered, and be sure to use that discount code MAX, M-A-X.